first at 6. Officials with Planned Parenthood Northern New England sharing concerns tonight after a new ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court. Justices voted that South Carolina is now allowed to cut off Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood, and some are worried that could open the door for other states to do the same. ABC 22's Matt Holderman joins us now live in the newsroom to further explain this ruling and just how it could affect people in our region. Matt?
Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, since that ruling would leave it up to state legislatures to vote on whether they want to cut Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood, it's unlikely Vermont or any state in the Northeast for that matter would do that. But that doesn't mean we wouldn't still feel the ripple effects from other states that do make those cuts.
This is not an unexpected result, but it is certainly very disappointing.
Jessica Barquist works at Planned Parenthood Northern New England and has spent much of the year watching decisions being made in D.C. that could hurt her organization and the people it serves. Most recently, Thursday morning, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled to uphold South Carolina's ban on Medicaid funding being used for Planned Parenthood, meaning patients enrolled in Medicaid can no longer use their coverage to get birth control, cancer screenings, STI tests, and more. Barquist says it also makes it a real possibility other states could now follow in South Carolina's footsteps and make similar bans. And although it probably wouldn't happen anywhere in the Northeast, she says the concern is still there, and it could lead to even more people from other states coming here for care.
This is just one piece of a larger systemic puzzle where they're trying to cut funding for Planned Parenthood. They're taking away our lower income folks, our most marginalized communities' ability to choose their provider of choice for their care.
But Barquist says the even bigger worry right now for PPNNE is a measure in the U.S. budget reconciliation bill that would prohibit Planned Parenthood from participating in Medicaid as a whole. She says that would mean nearly a quarter of all Vermont patients would be cut off from them, and they would lose almost half their revenue across New England, putting the entire organization at risk.
At least in Vermont, about 24% of our patients are Medicaid patients. And so collectively over our 3 states, that would be a loss of about $5 million a year.
Vermont Senator Peter Welch also weighed in Thursday afternoon, calling the ruling terrible and saying a national Medicaid cut won't do anything for most Vermonters.
So the idea that we'd actually cut people's health care in order to pay for tax cuts that go to very wealthy people is just, in my view, totally crazy.
Although Barquist notes Medicaid does not fund abortions, some supporters of the ban call this SCOTUS ruling a win for pro-lifers and argue taxpayer money shouldn't be going to Planned Parenthood in the first place. We will keep you up to date on what impacts, if any, this does bring to our region, but for now, reporting live in the newsroom, Matt Holderman, ABC 22 News.